Welcome back to the Humble Marksman channel, the only gun channel on YouTube dripping with that BDE. That's right, Big Dad Energy. Another dad joke you can open your next meeting with, boys. I used to think that the dryer was shrinking my clothes, then I found out it was the refrigerator. Think about it. And if your dryer is shrinking your clothes, then you can buy yourself a new Big Dad Energy Cyborg Tiger t-shirt. That's right, we got a new way to embarrass our wives, girlfriends, children, and pets, and it is the Cyborg Tiger Big Dad Energy shirt. Not all of us knows what it's like to walk a tiger on a gold leash, but this shirt gets you pretty close. I can't wait for mine to show up. Back to the A-cam. I'm David, and this is the Canik Mete MC9 pistol. It is the new concealed carry offering from Canik, taking the very excellent Mete system and shrinking it down into a package that's more suitable for concealed carry. The Mete MC9 is basically a shrunken down version of the Elite SC, which is a Glock 26 style pistol. It's a great gun. It provides, a firing grip properly, but at the same time, it's just a bit of a brick to carry, so the Canik is shrunk down this design with the MC9. Now, a lot of you are probably here because you look at the pictures of the MC9 on the website, you saw all the SHOT Show footage, you're like, that looks like the Elite SC. Like, is it a lot smaller? Yes, it is a lot smaller. It is appreciably smaller, and if it didn't have the ambi slide stop, it would actually be similar to like your P365s, your Hellcats, your things like that. When you compare them on size, they're very favorable in how they compare. The mag capacity is kind of that 12 rounds, so sort of like the P365 XL, that's kind of the size of the Mete MC9. It's not quite as skinny as those other guns, but it is close enough to where I would absolutely choose the MC9 to carry over the Elite SC profile. So what else has changed about the MC9? First and foremost, the optic cut is a little bit different. The Elite SC has to use a plastic spacer plate to mount the RMSC type optics. Good news is that the MC9 just has posts that come out of the slide, go up into the optic body, and you can use the screws that come with the optic with the little washers they provide to mount RMSC style optics. That's what I did with this Holosun 407K that you see here. One thing that Canik got right on the Elite SC is that the sights that are provided with the gun will co-witness through these RMSC style optics. It is about a lower quarter co-witness, which is beautiful. The rear sight is blacked out and not a 3-dot, so way to go Canik. 3-dot sights are dumb, so the sighting systems are very squared away. The other thing that changed is the serrations, because the slide is thinner, are more usable from over the top up front. One thing that's a problem on the Mete pistols and the Elite SCs the same way is that if you go over the top to rack, the bits that provide traction are all the way down at the bottom. It's more amenable to like an underslide rack. So the forward serrations on the Elite SC aren't quite as usable as they are on the MC9, which is very, very easy to run from the front of the slide. Another thing that changed with the redesign is the trigger guards are actually different. The trigger guard on the Elite SC is the same as the full-size Mete. So you can kind of see if I put that there, it extends out by probably, a third to nearly a ½ inch past the face of the trigger guard. So I suspect that the holsters aren't going to quite work with these new skinnier guns that the Elite SC could use. Another thing that changed is the back strap and front straps now have the fissured texturing similar to the side panels, as opposed to the old guns which had these like nubs or whatever on the front and the back. So I would say that that's actually an improvement. I like the way that that interfaces with my hand. And then other than the general thinness and lightness, this is about 3 ounces lighter than the Elite SC. So that's kind of what has changed with the new Mete MC9. So then the next question that you're asking is, how does the smaller, lighter MC9 shoot compared to the bigger Elite SC and the other guns in the segment? And the compromise is about what you'd imagine. This is about 15% lighter than the other gun, so that means more of the energy from the round is going to dump onto your body. There's less like inertia to overcome, and when you put the guns shooting side by side in slow motion, you can see that the muzzle climb from the MC9 is appreciably steeper than it is on the SC. Now, another thing about it is because this is a skinnier frame, that means it's taking it from a hand on frame support hand where I can actually plant my hand on the frame and control recoil, to with this, I'm planting my hand on my fingers, which means I'm not getting as good a traction. The gun's gonna rotate more in hand, and that's visible in the recoil lift that you see. That's not unique to this pistol. Every pistol in this segment is going to have that exact same characteristic. So it's a bit of a compromise when you go down to these little skinny guns, but you're trading basically comfort when you're wearing the gun to performance when you're actually shooting the gun. For most people, I imagine they would appreciate that the skinnier, lighter gun is a little bit easier to carry. carry and live with than the fatter gun that's easier to shoot. One thing that is still present from the Elite SC that I'm sad to report back on is this scallop at the bottom of the grip thing. Like, basically my only gripe about this pistol is that when you grip it, the little point that it comes to right here at the bottom of the grip creates kind of a hot spot in your palm. So when you're shooting, it kind of beats you at that one little spot in the palm. They did the same thing on the Mete MC9. Now you can kind of get around it. If, like, rather than seating my hand like this, if I kind of get around to the side of the pistol like this, that kind of changes my index and it gets too much trigger finger into the guard, so I don't love that. But the good news is those scallops are baked onto the back strap, so I'm hopeful that some aftermarket company, hey, Lock Grips, makes back straps that are the full thickness all the way down and don't come to that scallop, and then this gun would reach a new level of comfort while shooting, and that would be awesome. But as it is right now, it's really not that bad. It's just something you'll notice when you take it out to the range and shoot it. The thing Canik is always known for and prized for besides their cases, and this has the same Canik case treatment with all the stuff you would want. It's got 3 back straps, 2 magazines, a 12 and 15 magazine. It comes with its own holster as well, and all the tools that you need to maintain the thing. The trigger is what people always think about with the Canik pistols, and this is no exception. Now the trigger on this gun is a little bit heavier, about half a pound heavier than the Elite SC. Elite SC is pulling right at about 5 pounds, whereas the MC9 has more of a wall. It's very apparent, and it's very, like, honestly, the wall is a lot cleaner. When I first got the gun, it was pulling at about 6 pounds, which was surprising because it doesn't feel like a 6-pound trigger. But when I went to go put it on the trigger gauge after I filmed with it on the range, the pull weight had dropped by about half a pound. So it's gonna come as no surprise to you when I say that this has the best trigger in the segment. It is easily the most shootable, the highest quality striker trigger you can get in a skinny, compact gun. Taking the pistol onto the range and shooting it, I was rewarded immediately when zeroing the optic with the groups that Caniks are known for. The modern Caniks are super accurate, and I was shooting clover leaves when I was zeroing the optic. It was fantastic. Since it is optic ready, if you carry out an optic, all of a sudden it becomes very capable at shooting stuff like plate racks at 25 yards, which was fun to do with the little Mete. Now, one thing is, because the grip is compromised, I was having a problem kind of returning it when I was trying to do like mag dump type stuff. Good grief, returning it's a little challenging. Let's see. I was having to actually return the gun with my hand through aiming back to the target rather than just my grip naturally returning it. And that's due to the fact that it was cold outside, I was wearing gloves, and my support hand doesn't have a home on the pistol. So it's something I have to play with more and kind of dial in my grip. But right out of the box, shooting 30 to 50 splits was no problem. But when I was trying to get down to like 20s, that's where I started to run into issues with the gun coming back high. Now, it wasn't a lot high, and really for a self-defense type gun, you're gonna be confirming your sights on every target. So it doesn't really matter for like the USPSA IDPA type action splits, since that's not really the mission of these guns. It was 37 degrees when I was filming this, and the gun ran like a top. Reliability doesn't seem to be a concern. I didn't bring enough hollow points to the range day to really test it with that, but it was able to shoot a magazine of those no problem. And the only other thing is that I don't think holster support is here yet for this. I went to all of the holster places I normally get holsters from, and nobody's got holsters for these yet. The holster that it comes with, I mean, if you're carrying at the 3 o'clock position and you are right-handed, then you can use this, but it's not the highest quality holster. It doesn't really work in the appendix position, so it's better than nothing, but at the same time, it's probably gonna be a minute before the holster support shows up. Now, one thing that is really interesting about the MC9 is that the magazines are the same tube, the base pads are different, but the Elite SC and the TP9 magazines will work. It's just the base pad is different. So you can see that this is a skinnier base pad. So I was shooting the gun with the Elite SC magazines and a fatter base pad because I don't have any extra magazines for the MC9 yet. So if you're a Canik guy already, you can take your larger magazines and they will work in this gun. So if you want to train with your 15, 18 round magazines, you'll be able to do so. But all in all, I look forward to getting a holster and actually carrying this gun, checking it out and living with it, doing a proper longer term review with the thing. This is very much kind of a first shot sort of review. But all in all, I'm liking what I'm seeing out of the little MC9. It is basically all of the coolness that is the Canik Mete series of pistols, and I really like the Mete series of pistols. There's not a better value for money pistol out there. Canik has a very devoted sort of following, and I suspect you guys are gonna love this thing and wanna carry it. So let me know what you'd like to see this compared to in the comments down below. If you've got any questions, let me know and I'll help you out. Appreciate you guys. Catch you on the next one.